Mike, when you announced this back in November at the tour stop here in Salt Lake City, I mean, the crowd just went absolutely wild. And now that you see everything built behind you, and then this is a reality Saturday night, what's going through your mind?
Relief. I've been more stressed about this event than anything I've ever done in my life, and I've been involved with a lot of different sports and changing them up and completely, changing formats, changing scoring systems. I've done it with a bunch of different sports, including Supercross, and it's a big sort of risk because there's a lot of noise outside from everywhere, basically saying no, and people fighting against you. And basically, for the last 6 months, I've done nothing but fight with everybody, every industry, the competitors. Not so much competitors fighting, but certainly serious discussions because we're radically changing everything. This is not an evolution, this is a complete revolution, what we're doing. All these ramps are brand new. There's ramps out there are 3 times higher than the ramps that were the same for the same trick that were at the X Games 4 weeks ago. So you're going to have guys, instead of 30 feet in the air, they're going to be 60 feet in the air. And we're going to have over 60 world firsts. We know that because we already know the runs that the guys are doing, because every trick has a degree of difficulty. So we already know what they're doing on the night. There'll be some changes over the next couple of days, but we know already that there's going to be over 60 world firsts in one night. So we're going to take the sport ahead 10 years in one night. And but we had to have a lot of things come together. The scoring system is proprietary. It's never been done before, and we've been testing it for 5 or 6 months, and there's been all sorts of glitches across the way, and we're still working on it now. Still changing some things, because as we go into final rehearsals, there are just things that come up that no one's thought of yet, even though there's hundreds of people involved. So it's been really, really nerve-wracking, and building some of these ramps that have never been seen before. For example, we have a ramp down here. You can see the side. You won't notice it on Saturday night, but that's the world's first ever completely inflatable freestyle lander. No one ever dreamed that you could. Freestyle landers are dirt, and they always have been. They were last week at the X Games. We've got one that's a portable lander that's full of air, and it just has a hard surface and it has certain structure in it that it has just as much stability as a dirt lander, but it's safer. So if there is a really bad accident, it's still going to be ugly, but it won't be as ugly if you land it to hard packed dirt, or a wooden surface or a metal surface. All of that, all of these ramps are bigger and higher and different, and so the flooring systems, the judging systems. No one's ever done degree of difficulty before in any action sports competition. It's never been done. And we've had, across 7 different sports, we've had to apply degrees of difficulty to every single trick that exists and then put them in a scale. And the independent judging panel has had to do that across every sport. It's been a mammoth task. I had to send that out to the riders so the riders can look at it and go, okay, these are the tricks that I'm going to do based on where the degree of difficulty sort of lies. And then that's come back and they've had to tell us what they're going to do so that we can punch that into the computers and we know what's going to happen on the night, and but still allow for change, because guys can change their mind too on the night. If they need something bigger to win, they're allowed to do that. So it's been, without doubt, the biggest challenge of anything that I've ever done in my working career, and to be here and see it all up and running, and the ramps are up and they look like we haven't hit some of the bigger ones yet, but they look like they're all. Travis is the ramp guy and he's perfectly happy with how everything is, and the scoring system is fine. All the judges now, after 6 months, are completely understanding of what we need to do, and we're going to have a lot of testing in the next 3 days, and then Saturday night we have full qualifying on Friday. And then Saturday night, the top 8 in every sport in the world will fight it out in what is the fairest and the most difficult, the most explosive and dangerous competition ever held.
I said to Travis when we were previewing this event that this was going to revolutionize the game, and this will change the action sports competition. It's amazing to see it come to play. Mike, thank you so much for bringing it here to the state of Utah, and best of luck on Saturday.
Thank you very much. And we're so stoked that this is as the spiritual home of Nitro Circus, to be able to bring it here, because the governor and the governor's office did such a great job in putting a great deal together for us to be able to come here. And it's a blessing to think the biggest event that we've ever done, or the biggest event in the history of action sports, is going to happen in the birthplace of Nitro Circus. So it's great. It's great stuff.
These ramps are finally here. Like, you're looking at them. The bikes are on there. How bad do you want to go jump it?
The beauty of it is I've had these ramps testing for the last 2 years at my house to the airbags and the bag jump landings. They have that set up today, so I really want to hit it. But when it comes down to it, these guys are going to have to really sack up to be able to do this to a real landing. They're going to be going 55 feet in the air on dirt bikes and having to hit a landing that's super steep. I mean, that's why it's a world championship event, because these guys are the best in the world.
Is there a sense of relief that you're kind of feeling right now that you've seen the ramps are finally up, the riders are on them, it's in the venue?
You can't wipe the permagrin off my face. I mean, I couldn't be happier to be here in Rice Eccles. And to see it, I mean, you can see it on a computer and you're like, man, I think it's going to be good. But to look here, everybody's got a good seat. The weather's looking awesome for the rest of the week. And it's huge. It actually takes up more than Rice Eccles Stadium. We're into the stands on the sides. I mean, this is how big and the magnitude and the feel that I was really going for. And to have it all in fruition, man, that's awesome.
Best of luck this week. I can't wait to see this go down Saturday night. Thanks, Travis.
Thanks for having me.